Some people are born into light, others are born into dust, and sometimes the child from the dust becomes the storm no one saw coming. His name was Daniel. Daniel was only 2 years old when death came quietly into his house and took his father away. He did not cry that day, not because he was strong, but because he was too young to understand what forever meant. All he had left of his father was the blood memory, a deep voice he could no longer remember clearly, and a worn-out photograph his mother kept under her pillow. From that day, poverty moved in and never paid rent. Daniel's mother washed clothes for people. She cooked for others. Sometimes she begged silently with her eyes. And Daniel became a man too early. Every morning, while other children wore clean uniforms and shiny shoes, Daniel wore the same faded shirt, sometimes torn, sometimes smelling of rust and sweat. He attended a rich children's school, a school filled with children whose fathers were politicians, business owners, men with power. Daniel was there because the charity once paid his fees, but charity could not buy him dignity. They laughed at him. Metal boy, poor rat, son of nobody. They mocked his sandals. They mocked his lunch, sometimes empty. They mocked his silence. When classes closed, those children went home in big cars. Daniel went to the dump site, voice low, heavy. He searched for metal scraps with bare hands, sharp edges cutting his fingers, blood mixing with rust. He sold the scraps, bought food, and still came home to help his mother wash plates and sweep floors. At night, while others slept under air conditioners, Daniel studied under a weak bulb, sometimes under the moon, and when hunger came, he drank water and slept. Years passed. Pain grew older with him. The boys who mocked him grew arrogant. They believed life belonged to them forever. Daniel believed in only one thing: firm, quiet. One day, this pain will speak. Life moved fast. School ended. The rich boys went abroad. Daniel stayed back. He worked, failed, worked again. He learned, he fell, he stood up, he built himself from nothing. And one day, the world finally noticed him. Daniel became successful. A big office, a big company, his name written in bold letters. The boy who once sold metal scraps now owned a company that hired hundreds. One afternoon, Daniel sat in his office when 3 young men were brought in. They were nervous, their clothes no longer expensive, their eyes tired. They were looking for jobs. Daniel raised his head, pause, slow breath, and there they were, the same faces, older but familiar. They did not recognize him, but Daniel recognized every laugh, every insult, every wound. After the interview, he smiled gently. "Please, tell me your names again." They spoke. Daniel stood up, soft but clear. "My name is Daniel. I used to sit at the back of your class." Their faces changed. "I was the boy you called Metal Boy." Shame fell on them like rain. They stood up quickly, embarrassed. "We're sorry. We didn't know. Please." They tried to leave. "Firm, wait." They stopped. Daniel looked at them, not with anger, but with deep curiosity. "What happened? You were kings. Why are you here looking for jobs?" Tears filled one of their eyes. "Our fathers lost power. Some were arrested. Money finished. Friends disappeared. Their voices broke." Daniel walked back to his chair, slow, calm. Life as a way of teaching lessons. They waited for punishment, but it never came. Daniel picked up their files. "You will start work on Monday." Their eyes widened. "Why?" one whispered. Daniel smiled, gentle. "Because poverty taught me something wealth never taught you: mercy." That night Daniel went home. His mother sat waiting for him. He knelt before her. Tears rolled down his face. "We survived, Mama." She held his head and cried. Soft whisper, "Sometimes. The boy you laugh at today, is the man who will decide your tomorrow, and sometimes the strongest people are born from pain. Daniel was not lucky, he was forged.